Hello. I'm good. How are you? That's good. I wasn't planning on coming on tonight, so I'm just going to see who needs readings. Hi, Geeta. Can I move out of a toxic marriage, and is there a successful second marriage? Okay, let's have a look at what Spirit wants you to know. Hi, Priscilla. Let me see. So first things first, I'm hearing Spirit is saying first things first. So first you've got to get out of the toxic marriage, and then you can think about manifesting a second marriage, all right? But don't put the cart before the horse. So, you know, you should be working on yourself, getting yourself in a better headspace, attracting a better mate, and then if it ends in marriage, great. If it doesn't, that's also okay. So that's what I mean by don't put the cart before the horse. Take one day at a time, make one good decision at a time, and before you know it, you'll be in your second marriage, okay? Hi, Herb Snake. Spirit is saying it's time for you to trust the unknown. It's time for you to step out into the unknown. At the moment, you may be struggling to leave the toxic marriage because it's what you know. It feels safe and it feels familiar. Even if it's not good for you, maybe you're addicted to the highs and the lows, and it becomes like a comfortable pair of old slippers. You've outgrown it, but you're a little bit loath to leave, even though you know it's the right thing to do. So I feel like Spirit is wanting you to take the leap of faith into the unknown. I'm going to get you a love message here as well. Okay. All right. Spirit is saying you have the power to change the situation. So step out into the unknown, and then it's a matter of, you know, focusing on your healing and keeping the vision that you have for the relationship, the type of relationship that you want to create next time around, okay? Hi, Philip. Hey, FG. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining. All right, so Anna wants to know what change is coming in for me. I'm drawn to this deck, actually, so let's see what it has for you, Anna. Angels and Spirit, please show me what is the message for Anna. You've got the worn shoes. Where have your experiences taken you, and what wisdom do they hold? So maybe it's time for you to share your hard-earned wisdom with the world. Maybe a change in career path is coming in for you, because I feel like you've got a lot of wisdom to share, and maybe you've got an idea for a business. And then you've got a card about a change. You've got, what is the last step before an important change? What must be released before you can move forward? Now that makes a lot of sense, since we are on the threshold of Year of the Horse. We are still in Year of the Snake, although we're in the last phase of it. So Spirit is really wanting you to complete the process, eliminate what needs to go to make energetic space for what's to come, okay? So maybe you need to leave a job that no longer fulfills you, or that isn't challenging you anymore and is just taking up a lot of time that you could be spending building this business of yours. Hi Jojo, I hope that was helpful. Okay, Lydia, I got your payment, so let me know what your question is. Hi Knowles Carpentry in New York City, amazing. Thank you, Billy. All right, so you're welcome, Anna. So let's see what Lydia wants to know tonight. While I wait for the question to come through, I'm going to just get a card from the spirit messages. Oh, okay. Yep. No worries. You are welcome. Okay, so what does Lydia need to see, please, Spirit? Thank you so much, guys, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Hi, Lena. Okay, Spirit is asking you to have more faith in yourself and be proud of how you're navigating every curved ball that life has thrown at you. How you deal with those times shows your true inner resilience. Nothing can break that. That in itself is an inspiration for others. Keep shining your light. Hi, Renee. Let's see what work is coming in. There's a deck I want to use. Where is it? Angels and Spirit, please show me what type of work is coming in for Lydia. Thanks, Hussein. Angels and Spirit, please show me what type of work is coming in for Lydia. Just bear with me a moment. And then I'll do Renee or Renelle. Is it Renelle? I'm in Sydney, Australia. Interesting. I'm not seeing a theme just yet. Have you been applying for like lots of different jobs, like varied and diverse roles? Maybe you need to kind of direct your focus a little bit more, like be a little bit more intentional with your applications. I'm seeing something to do with information transmission. It could be like something to do with logistics. Like, so for example, what's a company that would fall under that category? Even Australia Post. Look at this card. But logistics is quite a vague. I'm being deliberately vague, okay? Because I don't want to limit where you go looking for work. Hi, Elle from Mexico. Let me just read what you said. I'm seeing lots of reports as well. So when I say information transmission, maybe you'll be asked to do some analytics and reporting. Let me just see if I can get anything else. Yeah, see, we've got knowledge pursuer and explorer of information. So as I was saying, analytics, reports, like data entry, reporting, that kind of thing for like could be like a big company like Australia Post. I'm just gonna get one more. like business analytics, performance analytics. Maybe you're analyzing feedback and results for the purposes of, you know, business systems. That's what I'm getting. Also seeing some really unusual cards coming through. There's something about travel. That's why I'm getting logistics. Maybe you're doing it's a business that has multiple locations is what I'm getting, okay? I'm also seeing a job that has something to do with, okay. There could be an opportunity with like an airline that is trying to manage something like transportation of pets. Maybe you have to make sure that you know, they're complying with legislation, because we've got the revolutionist. It's talking about pursuer of welfare and justice. And so that makes sense with this card here. So, you know, we're talking airports, travel, logistics, something like that. And it's definitely got something to do with animals. We've got agriculture here. Maybe you could be even working for, what do you call it? When you go through an airport, you've got to go through customs and quarantine, that type of thing. That's what I'm getting. I know that's really specific. I can't wait to hear what opportunity arises along those lines, because I like it when things make sense, right? When the puzzle pieces come together. Now, just before we move on, I'm going to quickly see what timing I can get for you. So when is this opportunity coming in? I'm seeing really soon. I've got the time is now, and give it time, it's in the works. So I feel like this will be really soon. We've got next week looks promising. So it might start off as a contract. So just bear that in mind, okay? Who did I say was next? I love your question, NWG verified. But I did promise someone else. Can you let me know who it was? Before Lydia, I just shouted someone out. Oh, thanks, Britt. No, that's not me, but that's funny. I think it was Renelle. Is Renelle still here? Will me and my girlfriend break no contact anytime soon? I'm just going to quickly answer Renelle's question, and then we're going to move on. I'm going to ask the tarot. Hey, Mark. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's have a look. Show me what's coming up for Renelle in this connection, please. Yeah, definitely communication is coming. You've got the Eight of Wands. Interesting that the Fool card came out. So I want to say, don't be foolish in your communications. Be, what's the word? Not calculated, but be thoughtful. Be thoughtful with what you say, okay? It will determine whether there's a new start in this connection. See how the Fool is card number 0? It represents a new journey, a new cycle. You want to press reset. You don't want to have like a replay of the same old issues. So be really mindful with what you say and how you say it. So be mindful of the words that you choose, but also your delivery as well. I feel like what you say is going to be super important. I'm going to do the last person that I called out, which was NWG verified. What do I need to be aware of in looking for my next partner? Just bear with me a second. I'm going to use 2 different decks for you. NWG. So this deck is really good at identifying patterns that you need to break. Okay, this is interesting. You're going to need to qualify people quicker. So instead of allowing them to take up weeks and months of your time, if you identify early on that maybe you're not on the same page, maybe you're not aligned, maybe you don't have enough in common, maybe you don't share the values with this person, don't give them too many chances or too many benefits of the doubt, okay? Because time is precious. Because you've got 2 cards here that fell out of the deck, so that tells me that this message was determined to reach you. When they tell you who they are on day 1, don't have your hope goggles on. You know, be discerning. When someone says, I'm not good at relationships, believe them. Because that wasn't vulnerability, that was a pre-warning label. Don't ignore red flags. And you've got a card that says, stop accepting kinda interested. And I might show up vibes. Okay, you deserve adoration, not bargain bin romance. So don't waste your time on the emotionally unavailable. You're not an emotional placeholder when someone decides if and when they might be ready to explore something deeper with you, okay? The other deck I wanted to use was the singles and relationship deck. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I had to clear away some other cards that were in the way. NWG. Just the guidance, please. So this is how you can, this is like proactive steps that you can take to meet someone. You might need to be a little bit more warm and approachable and not so aloof. This card says try being more friendly. Just, you know, if you like what you see, strike up a conversation. What have you got to lose? You know what I mean? Give someone a smile. Get out of like being on your phone or your device the whole time. Like look up, seek eye contact with people. And the whole process is going to be made easier for you the clearer you are with yourself about what you're looking for in a relationship. Because you've got this card here and it says, you don't know what you want, so you need clarity before you get involved. Okay? Did someone ask me a Q&A, or is that just a prompt that I'm getting? How do you relax after a long day? That's a good question. I rarely relax. I'm always on like overdrive. Okay. Okay. Now, who have we got? Okay, Fonzie. I'm Gemini and kind of texting with my Scorpio, but she acts like she doesn't care. What does that mean? All right, let me see what Scorpio what Scorpio's intentions are. What does Scorpio want in this connection, please, Spirit? I don't know if you've listened to my Scorpio video that I posted yesterday. That might help you. What is Scorpio wanting in this connection? Yeah, I am getting that there's some trust issues with your Scorpio. Let's see why. Interesting. They're showing me the Star card. It does resonate with the Scorpio reading that I just posted, because Scorpio is thinking long term. Scorpio is done with people who say the right things, you know, that try and charm them, but they're not wasting any time. You know, that's what I'm getting with Scorpio. It's like, I don't have time to waste. I've been through the wars and now I want something real, is what I'm getting from Scorpio. So if Scorpio is detecting that maybe you can't be taken seriously, or you're not really looking for something genuine, then you're not going to be getting much from Scorpio. I'm going to just see what this deck says for you. Yeah, I feel like Scorpio is looking for growth potential. I'm getting from this card that Scorpio might be trying to scope you out. So Scorpio is trying to figure you out and make sure that you're a safe bet. But with that being said, if Scorpio isn't being very responsive to you, you know, you have to think about yourself as well. This card says they didn't forget to text back. They just remembered they don't care that much. So you need to know when to cut your losses, because this card is reminding you that our phones are glued to our hands most of the time. If you're not getting a reply, it's not a glitch in the matrix. It's a red flag on silent mode. Return to sender. So know when to cut your losses. That's what I'm getting. Hey Joel, hey Josh. Is Benfica still here? 1975. I think you wanted me to look at your marriage, but I don't know if you're still here. Hey Sci-Fi Cinderella. You're welcome, Fonzie. Hey Say. All right, let's see. I don't know if Benfica is still here. Hi, Jono. Hi, Ruben. Okay, no worries. Thank you. I think the message was get up from the table when love is no longer being served. It seems to be a bit of a theme today. Know when to cut your losses seems to be coming through for a few of you. Not everyone is a tarot reader. There's a lot of wannabe tarot readers. There's a lot of, you know, false tarot readers. So you've got to use your discretion. Thank you, Stephen. All right, who wants a message? Now is the time to ask your question. If it's a love message, I'll choose my love decks. If it's money, you let me know. If it's a general message, Ruben says, my name is Ruben Delgado and I would like And I would like to know what awaits me in love with Magdiel. Okay, let's have a look. What can Ruben expect in this connection, please? What does Ruben need to see regarding this connection? Got the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. This would be a lack of investment. Sometimes we need to consider whether a relationship is worth our time and energy based on how much a person is willing to invest. And what I mean by that is not monetarily, although it can be sometimes. It's how much does a person want to show up? How much does a person want to get to know you? How much does a person want to resolve conflict? How much does a person want to meet you where you're at? So be aware of, how much someone is putting in. And then we have the Page of Cups in the reverse. It could be someone who's not very good at expressing their feelings. Let me just clarify that Page of Cups in the reverse. Maybe one of you is expecting an apology, or someone wants a misunderstanding cleared up. So I'm seeing the Page of Cups in the reverse next to the Nine of Wands. Yeah, you really need to figure out how much effort is this person willing to put in, because I see the Ten of Wands in the reverse as laziness. You can't be the only person doing the emotional heavy lifting. You can't be there trying to make a relationship work on your own. It takes two to tango, right? So that's your message. Joel says, I would like to know what the future holds for my mum. She's 80 and in a wheelchair, hoping to get her independence back after coming out of hospital. Okay, let's have a look. Which deck do I want to use? I'm going to use this one. Thank you, Joe. All right, so Joel, what is the message for Joel's mum, please? Okay, I am picking up that your mum is going to be a little bit frustrated, okay? Because I feel like she's not going to have the type of mobility that she used to have, and she's going to need to be patient with herself. I've got a card here about frustration. It says, is the way you feel getting you what you want? When you find yourself fighting to get what you want or to have your way, drop your hands to your sides, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this worth fighting for? Or is this worth the grief and frustration that I'm feeling? There's a need to stay flexible and ask divine forces to show you the way. Now is not a time to force, try to influence or control circumstances. Trust that you're being carried into your next phase of life and love. So I feel like your mum needs to be okay with more support. Like she's independent. She wants more independence, but the reality is she's going to require more support. And the more she resists that, the more uncomfortable it's going to be. The more she accepts that, the less frustrated she's going to be. Hello, Isaac. How are you? I'm having trouble with PayPal, but I'd like a general. Oh, no. Okay, not a hex on your life. Okay, let's see. Let's see why you feel like there's a hex on your life. Because you're ready for a new chapter. Let's see, why does Isaac feel, well, that card was determined to come out. Because the answer lies within you. Now, this was a card that came out in the Scorpio reading that I just posted. Maybe there's a little niggle. There's an intuition that you might be ignoring. And that could be the cause of your discontent right now. You know that you deserve better. You're wanting to manifest more in your life, and that might require you to release whatever you're holding on to so tightly. Maybe you need to make energetic space for something better, energetic space for like more opportunities. You need to be open to more possibilities for yourself. Okay, so let's see. What does Isaac need to see? Okay, here we go. One more. So you've got a blessing of some sort needs to manifest. It may be a relationship you've never experienced before, or a new level of professional recognition or respect. And this gift is essential to your continued spiritual progress, which benefits you and all beings. But in order to be able to receive it, some form of toxic negativity needs to be conquered. And so it shall be. Okay? The universe wants to dazzle you with an unexpected triumph. No matter how defeated you feel, the universe is about to step in. Now, you might be feeling a little bit indecisive. You've got a card that says, rather than waste your time being stressed over making the right decision, make the decision right. So, too many of us procrastinate. We know we want to start a new chapter. We know we want to pursue something new, but we want to get it all perfect, or we think we have to have it all figured out before we take the next step. But the message is just take the next step and trust that you will land on your feet. Trust that the universe will have your back. You don't have to have it all figured out in order to move forward. Okay, so that's what this is saying. Rather than waste your time being stressed over making the right decision, just make the decision right. Because a treasured desire will be realized if you're willing to take the leap, or if you're willing to persist in your search for something better for yourself. The card is saying, the stunning result will render worthwhile the considerable efforts you've had to invest in manifesting your. Okay, so maybe it's the journey has been long and arduous, but there is a reward waiting for you so long as you persevere. They're saying a phase change is coming in your life journey. They are wanting you to step out of your comfort zone, because the next card is saying that things that feel familiar feel safe to us, even if they're no good. They feel predictable and controllable, and so we gravitate towards them. However, this leads to a life of limitation. So get out of your comfort zone, be willing to experience initial discomfort for the sake of your own expansion. They are acknowledging that you're feeling a bit battle weary when it comes to life. So this is where you think that you might be hexed, but it's not a curse. It's nothing like that. They're saying, yes, it can be hard to keep the faith when you've been defeated one too many times, but everything is going to go your way in the long term. Just remember that immediate gratification is always less satisfying than the grander scheme that's unfolding. So just be patient. Your time is coming, and they are wanting to reassure you that when something is destined to enter into your life, it must happen. All you need to do is visualize this new cycle, these new people, these new opportunities, and you'll be guided and led, supported and protected. And you also need to be grateful regardless of what might be happening in your life. Because the next card is saying that you need to give thanks and feel the elevated emotions associated with a desired event before it occurs. This is all law of attraction stuff, but it's more than law of attraction. I don't know if you've heard of, what's it called? Something surfing. Plane surfing? What is it? It's law of attraction on steroids. I haven't looked into it for a long time, but it's kind of Joe, what's his name? Joe Dispenza stuff as well. because Joe Dispenza says, when you're in a state of gratitude, you transmit a signal into the quantum field that an event has already occurred. So imagine that desired reality so completely, and feel as though whatever you want is your reality at this very moment, so you can speed up the manifestation process, okay? Then you've got a card saying that someone's going to come in. The universe will send someone your way to give you a helping hand, to give you a leg up. So someone is going to show you some generosity. They're going to gift you with something like a boost. I can't wait to hear when it happens, okay? Someone is bringing you what you need, even more than what you need, in the most generous manner, and there are better prospects on the way. They're saying the remedy lies close at hand. So replace your hunch that you've been hexed with gratitude that someone has come in and saved the day for you before it actually happens. And I swear to you, it will be your reality. There's someone that's about to come in and shift your devastation into a palpable experience of being protected and guided through your difficulties. They're saying, although you may be in circumstances you'd prefer not to be in, they will give way to a more favorable situation and you will benefit from what is transpiring. Okay, so you're exactly where you need to be right now, and what is happening is there's a higher purpose for it. Okay, so I really like your cards. I feel like they're really encouraging. Okay, so did I miss a super chat? Okay. Oh, we've got John all the way from Northeast India. Wow, hello. Benfica, I actually did do a message for you, and it was a really quick message because I knew you'd left the chat. But if you're still here, the answer to your question was, know when to leave the table when love is no longer being served. Okay. Transurfing, yes, thank you. I knew you would know what I'm talking about, Isaac. Yes, it's exactly what it is. So Lee, is it Lee? Hi Bob from Georgia. Thank you. I'm from Australia. Oh, I'm glad I helped you, Elizabeth. Do you know what? I'm sure he genuinely loved you. Don't beat yourself up and overthink things and replay conversations and wonder if he was faithful or not. Now is the time for you to focus on yourself. Get all of that love and energy that you were wanting to pour onto Shane and pour it back onto yourself, okay? That's what I feel like is needed of you right now. You're welcome. Okay, so I was going to read Lee. Is Lee still here? Lee, who's feeling stuck? Let's see. All right, let's see. What does Lee need to know? I feel like Lee, you're feeling stuck because we're straddling between Year of the Snake and Year of the Horse. Everyone's in this weird void at the moment. It's confusing. I just did the Scorpio reading yesterday, and the first card that came out was actually stuck. Scorpio is feeling really stuck and torn and confused in their love situation. So let me see what you need to know, Lee. So for me, the Year of the Horse can't come quick enough. Luckily, we just had the last full moon of the Year of the Snake. I am so ready to see the back of that year. Honestly, it was tough. Okay, let's have a look. Angels and Spirit, what does Lee need to see, please? Oh, you've got quite a few messages coming here. Right. Whatever you're going through right now, you're feeling a little bit lost and confused. Know that there is a higher purpose to it. Spirit is helping you define what you actually want. Now, Lee, I would love to know what your star sign is, because I would not be surprised if you had strong Scorpio in your birth chart, because I can relate to these messages coming through for you. Spirit is wanting you to figure out what is your heart's desire. Don't answer too quickly, because sometimes we wish for a horse when what we truly desire is movement. Notice there's a reference to the horse. So what I was saying to you about the transition between Year of the Snake and Year of the Horse, there was like obviously meaning there. It was relevant. So Spirit is saying when what we truly desire, oh my God, when what we truly desire is movement, don't waste the gift of a wish. You're a Pisces, okay? Careful what you wish for. Okay, this is interesting. You are breaking a pattern. There's something here about you finally doing something differently in order to get a different outcome. You've got a card that says you need an interruption from what's going on in your life. Sometimes we need to step back and see what keeps repeating in our life. Where do we keep repeating mistakes? That's what I'm getting from this card, asking you to interrupt something that's going on, because this pattern is keeping you stuck. You've got a card that says stop justifying living a miserable life. Are you fearing making a change and the responsibility required to actually make that change? You don't have to stay stuck. Take your power back and actively move beyond a situation. They're wanting you to use your spiritual power to free yourself from this pattern. Now, it could be a pattern in relationships where you relinquish your power, you give too much power to the other person. Like it's almost like you put their needs above your own. So Spirit is helping you to release a tendency to self-sabotage through ignoring your own intuition and needs. Spirit is saying that your love, your time, your energy, your attention are precious and rare, so beware of who you gift your presence to. Be sure that they deserve it. Don't squander it. Don't squander your time, your energy. Finally, you've got a card that says, I feel like it's got something to do with the people that you attract. Because we want to believe that people have good motives. There's a person whose intentions are not in alignment with your best interests. Don't dismiss the warning signs. Trust what you notice. Make a solid choice about where you know you need to be committed and dedicated, and put your energy into that. Hi, Daisy. I hope that was helpful. That was quite a long spiel there, but like those cards were wanting to come out, so maybe you needed to hear that. Daisy, can I answer a question for you? Let's see. I'm glad when other people can relate to the messages. It's nice when they apply to more than one person. And sometimes I'm grateful that like these readings are helping me as well. So let's see, what does Daisy need to see? You're welcome. What's your question, Renelle or Renee? All right, so what does Daisy need to see? Oh, okay, Gemini glitters. Sorry, can you repeat the question for me? Daisy, you've got the caged bird. Where do you feel restricted or silenced? What would freedom look like in this area of your life? right, what was Gemini Glitter's question? What don't I see coming? All right, let's have a look. Maybe this deck. Hey, Mike from Ohio. What don't I see coming? Gemini Glitters. Gemini Glitters, I'm getting something about a love journey. Maybe this is meeting someone via traveling. It could just be like a love journey, like a new connection. It's a healing connection. Maybe that's what you don't see coming. Let's see. I don't know if you need to manage your finances a little bit better, and I'm also getting someone who's passed over wanting to say hello. And there's view this from the other person's perspective. So an opportunity to resolve some conflict when it comes to relationship. I'm just going to quickly go back to, didn't I answer your question, that same question, Renelle, earlier? Maybe you missed it. Going back to, who was it, Daisy? You want to know what to do. I'm going to get why you're feeling stuck to give you a little bit more insight. You're being tested. So what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So you need to break free of whatever this perceived restriction is, whatever's limiting you, whether they're your own beliefs, whether it's like conditioning. Maybe you were raised a certain way to believe that you couldn't do A, B, or C. So maybe it's all in the mind, maybe it's fears holding you back, or maybe it's like actual physical barriers that you need to transcend. But whatever the case, Spirit is trying to show you the strength of your spirit. So you have the ability to overcome whatever this is. Okay? All right, guys, I am going to end it there. I need to go and do some personal readings. Thank you for joining. If you missed out on a reading, don't worry. I come back and do these every couple of days. Thanks for supporting my channel. Thank you to my moderators. I love you all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.